Terrence Howard's exclusive interview revealing every celebrity that was sexually involved with Diddy has just been released, and allegedly, Terrence Howard has received threats over the names he revealed. Diddy's situation has also gotten worse, with a new lawsuit naming Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and even LeBron James now filed in court. This proves that some of the biggest names in the industry were involved with Diddy, and if Diddy goes behind bars, the worst sex trafficking ring in Hollywood will come crashing down.
If you're going to speak against me, then use the same courage that it took for me to say those truths. Man to man, eye to eye, integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face. And say it like a man.
Oscar-nominated actor Terrence Howard left the film industry because he knew what goes on behind closed doors. Couch casting and sexual favors are what this industry is built on, and Diddy's arrest and the tapes he recorded prove all of this. Recently, on an episode of the Patrick Bet-David podcast, Terrence Howard revealed that he said no to some of the biggest roles of his career just so he could protect his integrity. Diddy wanted to have sex with Terrence, but Terrence had principles.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands-off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
Terrence revealed that the people who say yes to these deals and give up their integrity can never get the abuse out of their heads. What's the point of success if you have to give up your respect to achieve it? According to Terrence, people like Justin Bieber and Usher are suffering mentally and take drugs to drown the memories of their abuse.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Before his interview, Terrence Howard tweeted that he was going to reveal all the lies and that he was just getting started. This is the end of the great lie. We have waited years for the truth to be revealed, and now that it is here, let's live by it. We are tearing down this entire system of lies. The revolution has begun. Make way for life and stay tuned. We are just getting started. After his interview, Terrence Howard was approached by the people he had talked about and allegedly also received threats. In a video posted after his interview, Terrence Howard said this.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out and his chin high. Not hiding behind a keyboard or tucked behind editing clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusations.
As we peel back the layers of what Terrence Howard has been saying, we see that Hollywood is filled with predators. Sexual abuse is rampant in the film industry, and some of the biggest names like Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Roman Polanski, and now Diddy were all sexual predators who used young men and forced them into degrading sex acts. These people are part of the gay mafia that controls Hollywood and the music industry. Record company executives and directors were all involved in the sex trafficking ring with Diddy.
You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life. You are literally, it's an unhealthy space. And so eventually you're going to go too far, you know? Who knows what happened to Philip? Who knows what he had to do in order to get to where he was at? There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. And they got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of their head, you know? But when you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
You give up your ability, your right to being a man. A man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back.
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Now, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything, for fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right of being a mother and taking care of her family and do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there because they get fluid. And next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card.
This is what 50 Cent has been saying for years. Every celebrity that was going to Diddy's freak-off parties knew what was going on behind the scenes, but they kept quiet because that's how you make it in this industry. Enabling the abuse of minors and actually helping Diddy cover up his crimes is something that all of Diddy's guests are guilty of. 50 never went to Diddy's parties because he wasn't down with any of this.
You and Puff haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why. It's only business. It was really... Away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because it's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time.
Exactly.
I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. And I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. And now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. When I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
Meek Mill was hanging out with Diddy, going shopping with him, and showing up to parties in matching clothes after 50 rejected Diddy. 50 said that he rejected Diddy because he knew what going out with Diddy really meant. Diddy was sexually interested in 50, but 50 said no. Meek Mill said yes because he was ready to give up his man card in return for fame and money.
But you got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. Stop it. You set that up. Look, obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. Guys may say to a girl, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there. Because it was like, he was like, yo, no, you hot now. Now we got to hang out now. Like, you know, like hang out.
Yeah.
He said, I don't know, man. I take you shopping and I get you some flash and you can give me the hood shit. And I was looking and I was like, let me just move away from him because I'm gonna mess up the way. Certain things they let it go by because it's Puff. He wasn't like in the closet, he was like in the hallway.
All these years, you being the only one calling this out.
I look like I've been the crazy guy for a long
They
time.
said you're a hater. They
You're
said
a
you're crazy.
hater. You do this. Yeah, and now everybody's complaining. My ass is hurting.
It's not just Meek Mill that was involved with Diddy. Jay-Z and Beyonce have both been longtime supporters of Diddy, and as the recent lawsuits now prove, they were regulars at his freak-off parties too. Jay-Z and Beyonce are people who married each other just for business reasons and to grow their empire. Their names have come up in 2 separate rape lawsuits now, and it's only a matter of time before they get indicted just like Diddy.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce.
Mm-hmm.
When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking
was
trophies,
wondering what you were
those
talking
fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys.
You're gonna let him say that?
he had one.
Exactly.
He had
And
one.
he ain't show up.
No, he has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was
At
one.
the same
After
time.
that, he got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures were in like, fucking things the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, he's been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see their kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing.
Right.
They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things that...
Every major rapper was involved with Diddy. They're all silent now, but they can never get rid of the evidence. Just take a look at everyone that was partying with Diddy back in 2010. Busta Rhymes, Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and Usher have always been close to Diddy. In May of 2018, Trump's National Doral Golf Course in Miami had to be closed down because of a shooter.